You pretend that you don't know just what you want to do, 'cause it saves you from the pain.
G'day. So here we are again. We're going back to the outback, to Burt Booth's place. Only this time it's going to be a little bit more enjoyable because guess what? I'm leaving him. I'm getting off the place. No more abuse. One evening, Peter Smith unexpectedly drove into Bert's yard and stopped in a cloud of dust outside my tin shed.
"G'day, you bastard,"
he said with a huge grin on his face. "G'day, Peter. How are you, mate?" My use of the Aussie accent and lingo was now improving somewhat.
"I'm good, sport. I'm good because I've got some good news for you, Yorky."
"You got me a new job, Peter?"
"Sure have, mate. It took me a while, but I eventually found one for you."
"What's it doing, and who will I be working with?" I said, as my heart was now skipping beats like a roo skips over a fence.
"Well, mate, you'll be starting a new career in contract fencing with a real good bloke called Jim Smith."
"Is he any relation to you, Pete?"
"Nah, mate, no relation at all, but he's a beaut bloke."
I packed my gear up in record time and stuck it in the back of Pete's ute. "Where does Jim Smith live, Peter?" I asked as he started the ute.
"Bagooney, mate."
"What?"
"Bagooney, about 3 miles from the station."
"What fucking station? My old tin shed was bigger than that station ticket office, and that Joey I had could hop across that room in one hop on one leg." We drove off down the track, laughing our heads off. The red dust flew up behind us as we drove along, and Peter turned on the radio. We drove in silence as we listened to Slim Dusty singing one of his famous bush ballads called "My Home on the Sunburnt Plain."
"Grab that gate, Yorky,"
said Peter as we slowed down. The gate was open and closed in a jiffy, and the ute was once more kicking up dust as it rolled over the large potholes.
"There's Jim's old Bedford truck, right where he said it would be."
"I can't see Jim anywhere around, Peter."
"Oh, he's probably gone off in the bush, chasing a parrot."
"What do you mean, chasing a parrot?"
"Jim's mad about parrots. He's got a small aviary back of his humpy."
"He must really like parrots."
"Like 'em? If he hears a parrot he's not heard in these parts, he'd drop his tools at the drop of a hat and go off chasing to find out where it's nesting."
"There's somebody walking out of the bush."
"That's him, mate. Let's get out and go and meet him." "G'day, Jim. You been off in the bush chasing parrots again, mate?" "Not this time, mate. Had a few minutes to spare, so I went to drop me guts. So this is me new pommy fencer, is it, Pete?" "Yeah, mate. This is Yorky. Yorky, this is Jim." "Nice to meet you, Yorky,"
said Jim as we shook hands on the track.
"I'm glad you could give me a bit of a hand, mate. The weather's starting to heat up now, and I always seem to slow down when that happens."
"I haven't fenced before, you know," I said to Jim.
"No worries, mate. I'll teach you all I know. It'll only take me 5 minutes."
This little joke from Jim let me know he was a real good bloke.
"Better put your gear in Jim's truck, Yorky. I got to get back to my place now. I got a few things I got to finish today.
After me 2 cases and me trumpet case were put on the open back of Jim's old Bedford truck, I walked over to Peter and said to him, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me, mate.
Root your boot. Enjoy your new job, mate. You deserve it. See you later, Jim,
said Peter as he hopped in his ute.
All right, mate. Drop in some time when you passing. Don't forget to work him hard, Jim. She'll be right. I'll look after him. All right, Yorky, hop in the truck and we'll get your gear back to the house. We'll start tomorrow. That'll give you time to unpack a bit of gear and fix up the room that we've got for you.
Is it hard fencing?
Well, it's not easy, Yorky. Put it that way. But you'll get used to it, mate. Just take it easy for a couple of days, then you'll be right. The main thing is your hands. Once you toughen them up to the job, Bob's your auntie, mate.
I like this man. He was easygoing and had a big heart.
Can you drive, mate?
Asked Jim. No, old Burt wouldn't let me. He gave me a pushback to go up the mallee.
Oh, that's no good, mate. You got to be able to drive in the bush. You get more work that way. Anyway, that's not a problem because you'll be driving as good as me in a few days.
You mean you'll teach me to drive, Jim?
No, mate. You'll teach yourself. I'm going to provide the truck.
Oh, that's really kind of you.
Nah, it's a fact of bush life. I had to learn to drive when I was 13, or I wouldn't have been able to get to work.
Have you been driving since you were 13?
Sure have, Yorky. The only problem is it's a bit habit forming. Once you start, it's hard to stop, especially when you got a wife and 4 young kids like I've got.
How far to your place now?
About another 10 minutes, mate.
Do you always smoke cigars, Jim?
Yep, I sure do, Yorky. That's another thing I started at 13, and now it's hard to stop. You want to try one, mate?
If you've got enough, I'll have one.
Oh, I think I can spare one, but if you get the taste for 'em, you'll have to buy your own. There's a packet in the glove box. Help yourself, mate. How do you like 'em?
He asked as I puffed and coughed me guts out. They're a bit strong.
Yeah, they're beauts, aren't they?
He said with a big grin on his face. Oh, look, there's Bagooney Station.
Yeah, that's right. You know Bagooney, do you?
Not really. It's where I got off when they sent me out here.
Well, you know Bagooney as well as anyone can, 'cause that's all there is at Bagooney, the ticket station, and I've never seen it open as long as I've been around here. My old hump is down the track a couple more miles. I think it used to belong to the railroad at one time.
Who owns it now, then?
The cocky's down the track further.
Does it cost you much in rent?
Not a penny, 'cause it's not worth it. The old place is falling down around me ears, Yorky, but she'll do till I get something better, I suppose.
A few minutes later, Jim pulled off the main track and took a small one-way bush track through the scrub.
There she is, Yorky. That's me old palace,
he said, as we pulled up in a large clearing, which was obviously his front yard. As soon as the old Bedford pulled up outside the broken-down humpy, 4 small kids raced up to the driver's door and started to bang on it with their fists.
All right,
said Jim to the kids.
Let a man get out so he can give you a hug.
The kids backed away from the door, and Jim jumped down from the cab onto the dirt. They were now tearing at his trouser legs for his undivided attention. He picked up each one of them in turn and gave them a big, noisy kiss on their cheeks. After that, they tried to drag him off into the house.
Come on, Yorky. We'll get your gear in a while, mate.
As soon as I got out of the cab, Jim's kids cried out in surprise and ran off into the house. I just stood there, not knowing what to do or say. Did I scare 'em off, Jim?
No, Yorky. You're the first visitor they've seen for 6 months, so they're a bit shy around strangers. Come on, mate. Let's go inside.
Jim's whole place was a humpy. The house was falling down round his ears. The corrugated tin roof was brown with rust, and the trough was literally down in places. The wood board sides had panels missing, so you could see into the rooms. The inside floorboards were warped in all directions, and in some places dry rot had eaten large holes in them. But for all of this, it was hanging together by the unspoken love between himself and his family. When we got inside, he said,
Look out, Yorky. Don't walk there, or your foot will go through me floor, mate. G'day, Shirley,
said Jim as we walked into the kitchen.
G'day, Jim. This must be Yorky, is it?
Yeah, this is Yorky's show. This is me Mrs. Yorky. Best little cook this side of the black stump, mate. Not a bad looker either. Eh, mate?
I shook Shirley's hand and said, Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Smith.
The name's Shirley. It'll go to me head if you call me Mrs. Smith. Even me kids call me Shirl.
All right, Shirley it is.
You want some smoko, Jim? I've just boiled the kettle.
Yeah, why not? We'll have some smoko, and then I'll help Yorky bring his bags in. We got a nice room for you, mate. It's even got its own air conditioning built in.
Oh, stop it, Jimmy. He's just kidding you, Yorky. What he means is one of the boards fell off the side wall of your room, and Jimmy hasn't had time to nail it back up yet. We don't even have electricity at this place, let alone air conditioning.
Yeah, just joking, mate. It's what makes life tolerable, eh? A good joke once a day, at least.
The temperature outside was now probably around 90 degrees. Inside the kitchen, Shirley had a wood stove going so as to make the tea for us. As you well imagine, it was pretty warm in that old kitchen. Just then, Jim's oldest child, who couldn't speak too well, said something to Jim I could not understand. Then Jim said to Shirl,
You shot a snake in here this morning, Shirl.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you with all the excitement going on.
What happened then?
He was stretched out in front of the stove when I came back in from hanging out some washing, so I went round the front way and got the 22 out of the bedroom. I walked up the passage and he was still in the same place, so I let him have it.
Did you get him?
Have you ever known me miss yet, Jimmy Smith? Course I got him. I blew his head clean off with one shot. You see that stain over there where I tried to clean it up?
Oh, yeah, said Jim. Don't get on the wrong side of her, mate. She's dangerous.
next time we'll continue the story about fencing and how difficult that it was. Really, really hard work. So it will include how to put up fences, chasing parrots in the bush, and getting stung by hundreds of wild bush bees. So till next time, hooroo.
You pretend that you don't know just what you want to do, 'cause it saves you from the pain if you cannot follow through. And freedom is a heavy word you learn to go around, and it keeps you stuck in your small